Hey, what is up guys? Stephen Quills of Mac here, and I've now been using iOS 11 for a little over a month. So in this video, I wanted to talk about what I like, what I don't like, and just my general thoughts after a month's use. So let's get started. iOS 11 isn't a major overhaul of design or functions, such as say, iOS 7, but more of an evolution from what we had in iOS 10. That's most evident with the new control center, which has got to be one of my favourite features within the new OS. The ability to customise the feature widgets that we actually use and remove those that we don't is really useful. I also find them easier to use. For example, the volume slider is now much improved, as I was always turning down my ringtone volume as opposed to the speaker volume when just using the volume buttons on the side of the phone, whereas now I have a slider that works just the same as the screen brightness. Some of the widgets are also a whole lot more useful, such as the Apple TV widget, which works brilliantly. Being able to tap in and get an instant remote is a huge time saver. The new cover sheet that Apple has introduced, which replaces Notification Center, isn't as well thought out though. When you scroll down, you've now got a list of all previous notifications, even if you've previously seen them, and the ability to swipe to clear is completely gone. Instead, I have to force touch to bring up the notification and hit the X or clear by day. It just seems a little clunkier than the good old swipe that we've had for years. It also just looks like the lock screen, so it's easy to think that you're on the lock screen when in fact it's just the cover sheet. As well as swiping to clear, Apple has additionally removed a 3D touch app switcher. In iOS 10, you could 3D touch on the left hand side of the screen and swipe to bring up all of the different apps that you have open, but that's now gone. Okay, so you can bring it up with a double tap of the home button, but if we believe in all of the iPhone 8 rumours that the home button is being removed, the 3D touch gesture would have been welcome come September. Siri has been improved a lot in iOS 11, and sounds a whole lot more natural when responding to questions. What's the weather like tomorrow?
The weather's looking good tomorrow, up to 24 degrees.
Which is always good, along with a slew of new features such as translating languages and syncing between your multiple Apple devices. I love the fact that Apple's using the new HEIF and HEVC formats, which compress photos and videos more to optimise storage, but all of the photos and videos still look great, and I've had no problem sending these to other users as they convert to JPEGs and MOVs when sharing with people who aren't on iOS 11 or iOS at all. The way that iOS 11 now takes a screenshot in the bottom left hand corner so you can edit, send and choose to save or delete has really surprised me by how useful it is and how often I'm actually taking advantage of it. So now when you take a screenshot, it shows up in the bottom left of the screen where you can draw, edit, add text and so on, and then share directly from that screen. Then you can choose whether to save or delete the image, which is super useful to me. I mainly take screenshots to show my fiance or friends something, so once I've sent it to them, it's not needed. Being able to delete it straight from here keeps my camera roll nice and tidy. Where iOS really comes into its own though is on the iPad. The new dock on the bottom is brilliant for making the tablet finally begin to feel like a MacBook replacement. You can add a ton of apps down there, which is great to swipe up from the bottom of the screen and switch to a new app super quick. Then there's the way that it now multitasks, so you can drag a second app from the dock and have a second window on top of the app that you were using. Or you can drag it to the side for a traditional split view. And then if that's not enough for you, you can add a third app on top, which all in all makes the iPad a true multitasking beast. Then the app switcher will also remember the apps that I've grouped together, so I can have a website up and pages for when I'm writing scripts, or have Twitter, my email clients and a video playing all at the same time for when I actually get around to replying to emails. Then there's the new drag and drop options, so you can drag images from Safari to pages really easily, or if you want to drag multiple images within the new Files app to a folder, you can drag the first image and then tap on others that you want to move with it. It's just really well thought out and only took me a few minutes to get used to having it. It feels really intuitive. Speaking of the Files app though, I don't feel it's everything that Apple bigged it up to be at the WWDC keynote. It's not a full file management app. To me personally, it's more of just a progression of iCloud Drive. For example, you can't drag files from iCloud directly onto the device. It feels more like a hub for all of the cloud services combined with the Settings app, which is not a bad thing by all accounts. I really have no need for a full file manager on iOS, as I have my Mac, which is where it's really useful. I'm not saying this is something I necessarily like or dislike, but it's just something I wanted to touch on. Let me know in the comments down below though what you think of the Files app and if there's anything you feel that's missing or could be added with further betas in the future. Overall, iOS 11 is a great progression of the features that I already love on iOS 10, and especially on the iPad. I'm really enjoying using the betas and can't wait to have all of the bugs smoothed out come September. Well, that is it for this video, but if you've been using any of the iOS 11 betas, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you like? Is there anything that you hate? Also, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss a single video from Cult of Mac. I'll catch you in the next one.